But you're also known for CUJO, a
Yes.
Stephen King horror movie. I kind of want to get into that before we get into everything else.
Okay.
What was that even like as a kid being that young in a film like that with this ferocious dog?
You know, I do a lot of those Comic Cons, or not a lot. I do some, and I'm always asked. Every single person asks how traumatized I was making that movie, and the answer is that I wasn't at all. I don't know what it was about me as a kid, but I was, I guess with child celebrities, you don't understand what's going on. You're just there. You do your thing. Your mom tells you to say that you're supposed to say these lines at this time, and you do that. And some child actors do that, and they get away with it. Some child actors turn around and say, "Hey, mom, I also think this could be really good. And what about if I did this?" So I'm a 5.5-year-old who's already had 3 years experience on As the World Turns, and
That's right.
soap opera. So you've got crying. It's just I spent most of my time on the soap opera crying. It seems. So I've already got that experience under my belt. And then like I don't think I could expect every child celebrity, particularly child celebrities who might have just done like a sitcom or something family. I don't think all of them could pull off this really intense, dramatic piece with an actress of the caliber of Dee Wallace. I mean, just to hold your own against Dee Wallace is a lot in the first place. And to be a 5.5, 6 year old when you're doing that, not trying to pat myself on the back, I don't actually understand, or I've never been able to process how I was able to get to those places and how I was able to maintain such a sort of level of professionalism at 6 on a movie set like that. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to wrap my brain around it. The only thing I can truly say is that I was destined to do those things. And sometimes with destiny, you just sort of go with that flow, right? And I don't know. But yeah, there were 7 dogs. There was a man in a dog suit, a dog in a dog suit, a mechanical dog, and by the end of the day, none of it scared me at all. That said, I hadn't seen the director, Louis Teague. I had not seen him for 15 years. And when I first saw him again at a Comic Con a bunch of years ago, the first thing he asked me was how traumatized I was by the movie. Because even he thought that I was truly going to be distraught with dogs as I grew up. And it didn't bother
Yeah.
me at all. And I think that just goes to show that I was able to get to such a place that everyone, even people on set, believed that I might sort of hold on to some of the trauma of that. But I didn't. I don't know.
At what point did you see the movie? I assume you didn't see it at 6 years old.
I did.
Oh,
I know. I know. The only part that traumatized me was something I wasn't in, of course. There's a scene when this guy's getting his sort of throat mauled by the dog, and that was scary to me. I had to look away. But of course, I went to a premiere. My parents were so proud they like bought out a little theater in New Jersey, and we had our private screening. And somebody's bright idea was to let me be there for it. But that's the only part of the movie. The rest of it, I was actually really fascinated to see what it ended up looking like. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But a 6-year-old, I was literally thinking, God, I can't wait to see how that scene with Dee and I at the house turned out. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that.
so it became like very analytical for you at the screening.
at
Interesting.
at 6, that I'll never be able to process how does that happen. But yeah, that's my goal, was to see which take they used, or if they actually got the car spinning around scene to work. That stuff was so fascinating to me. It still is, but it was definitely fascinating then.